Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whichever part of this crazy world we're living in you are. So in today's video, we're going to talk about two British ladies. We're going to talk about Anita Rose, who, hang on, sorry, I'm pressing the wrong button. Helps if you press the right button. So we're going to talk about Anita Rose, who's a dog walker who was murdered walking her dog one morning, just like, many mornings, and still nobody has been charged with her murder. The police we're going to talk about two new persons of interest that the police want to talk to, not suspects, just possible witnesses. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about a lady that we haven't talked about before, because to be honest, I didn't know about this case until yesterday. And this is Khasha Smith, who is a 36-year-old mother of three daughters who disappeared or was last known of to be safe and well in Edinburgh last October. And since then, nobody knows where she is. She's missed her daughter's birthday. And the police have done a renewed appeal to try and find out what has happened to this lady. So that's who we're going to be talking about. Let's chat. So let's just going to take away Kasha's photo for a moment when I can work out what I'm doing. So for those of you who may be new to my channel, my name is Vicky Marie. I talk about true crime and other things as well, whatever I think is interesting and maybe that my chatters will find interesting. So first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to all my chatters. Thank you to all my subscribers, anyone who has liked my videos, anyone who's a member especially. Now tonight in the members live, we're going to be talking about this man, Mark Williams Thomas, and an interview that I came across totally by accident, just literally flashed up in my feed when I don't know why, because I wasn't listening to any videos about him. And it just flashed up and I started listening to it. It's very interesting. I think you're going to find that very interesting. Some of his methods, how he tells us his methods of catching criminals. Has he ever caught anybody? Anyway, never mind. What he's got to say about Madeleine McCann and the Madeleine McCann suspect, Christian B. Many very interesting things that he says on this interview that I found totally by accident. So that's what we're going to be talking about in the members live tonight. Please consider becoming a member if you enjoy my content. You'll enjoy the members content even more. Also want to say thank you to people that have bought me a Ko-fi or sent me a super sticker or sent me a nice email, left me a nice message. Thank you for supporting content creators. Content creators need that support, not only the financial support, but the moral support more than you think, because, it's an interesting job, if you like, but, sometimes the hours that you put into it, you do think sometimes, gosh, is it all worth it? But then when, you realize that people are enjoying your content, people support you, say nice things to you, etc., then you know why you're doing it, and that's what keeps you doing it. So thank you so much. Actually, I forgot to put my banner on, didn't I? But never mind, I'll put it on later. So now let me say hello to everybody who's here first, actually, while I think about it. because I can get talking sometimes and then I just forget to say hello. Hi, Annie. Hi, Kelly. Hi, David. Hi, Cherish. Hi, Pauline. Hi, Chumba. Okay, yeah. Exactly, Pauline. So wait until you hear that. If you, well, I don't know if you remember or not, but when I do this, this interview that I found, honest God, I was open mouthed about some of the things he's saying. Not only about his modesty, because there's a lot of that in it, about how great he is. No wonder him and Peter Folding are best buddies. They're like peas in a pod, aren't they? Nobody's any better than them at solving crimes and. But also his methods of solving crimes, I think they're illegal, to be honest. But anyway, more of that tonight. So today, when we're not talking about Mark Williams Twonk, we're concentrating on these two women whose families need our help, need the public's help. And I'm going to start, I think, talking about Anita Rose, because we have talked about her before. We've looked at this case before in videos. It's one of those cases, a woman doing a very normal thing, going out to walk her dog first thing in the morning. The dog is fine, by the way, because people always want to know, is the dog okay? But this is, I believe, the actual morning that Anita Rose left her house first thing in the morning to walk her dog in an area where she went many, many times to walk her dog, was violently attacked and subsequently died in hospital. Now, let's see if we can have a little recap of the case. Sorry, as usual, too many windows open. Because, of course, I'm doing two cases this time. Gosh, got to go right along the line up at the top. Okay, so Anita Rose is 57 years old, or was 57 years old. She's a mother, she's a grandmother to many, many grandchildren. And she was out walking her Springer Spaniel Bruce in the village of Brantham in Suffolk, which is near Cambridgeshire. And this was on the 24th of July this year. And she was attacked and later died in hospital. And we're going to have a look at the BBC website. The BBC news article. That I'm reading from. I just keep pressing the wrong buttons. I don't know. It's a wrong button pressing day today. I just keep pressing all the wrong buttons. Right, I've got the right buttons now. No, that's not the right one. There. So now this was the CCTV of Anita. We're in the pink jacket that you saw. So what the police have now asked, they've been reviewing CCTV footage and they're appealing to find these men. Now I need to stress, it's not necessarily that these men are the attackers. They're not necessarily suspects. They're just people that have not been eliminated yet, that the police have not spoken to yet. They're people on the CCTV cameras from the area that the police think may have some information. So we've got this person. Do you know him? Are you him? Go contact the police and get yourself eliminated from the inquiries. Hi, Heather. Get yourself eliminated from the inquiries so that the police can move on. So, police are looking to speak with two unidentified individuals in connection with the death of a dog walker. So, Anita Rose, I read that out earlier. She was out walking her Springer Spaniel Bruce in the village on the 24th of July, the village of Brantham in Suffolk, when she was attacked and later died in hospital. Bless her. 3 people have so far been arrested and released on bail in connection with the incident. So remember, not necessarily for murder, 2 on suspicion of murder and 1 of suspicion on handling stolen goods. Officers have been reviewing CCTV footage and now they want to speak with the 2 people they say could assist the investigation. So, this is one guy. Apparently he's been pictured on CCTV with and without a hat on. So you can see he's got a beard. He's quite distinctive and he looks tall. I don't know if that's just the way it looks from the photo, but he looks tall to me. He's carrying a bag. Are you that person or do you know that person? Please contact Suffolk Police and just get yourself eliminated from these inquiries, because it's important that they find the person who did this, because no woman is safe. Nobody's safe now walking their dogs until whoever killed Anita, maybe they didn't mean to kill her, but they certainly attacked her with some violence. So they were intending to rob her at the very least. And so nobody's safe out there. So Detective Superintendent Mike Brown said, it must be understood the force believed they were not suspects in the case. It's important we identify and locate these 2 individuals to get a better understanding of how they can assist the investigation. He added, any information they have, big or small, could assist in establishing the full circumstances surrounding Anita's injuries and subsequent death. And so we ask these individuals or anyone who may know them to get in contact with us. So anyone who recognises the pictured individuals is urged to contact the police. Now, this one gave me the chills. I don't know why, because this is the other person. Now, I've got to say, they're not suspects. They are not suspects. Hi, Seffi. Is that Seffi? Yeah, hi, Seffi. So they're not suspects. But when I saw this picture, it just, don't know why, it gave me a little bit of a shiver. So I tell you what, if I was walking down in a leafy wood and, you know, all peaceful and quiet, and this guy came out of the bushes, because the first thing I'd think, where's his dog? Where's his dog? What's he doing walking here without a dog? Because this was at 6 o'clock in the morning. So it does beg the question, unless you were going to work, or unless you had a dog and you were walking a dog or whatever, why would you really be up at 6 o'clock in the morning walking through these woods? You know, that's the first thing I think is, where's the dog? But again, not a suspect. The police stress, not a suspect, just somebody. Do you know who it is? Is it you? Contact the police. Get yourself eliminated from the inquiries. So apparently the police have also released an updated map of her, an updated map of her movements on the day of the incident, through inquiries they've made relating to her mobile phone. So they'll be getting more information now from the phone companies, etc. You know, information will be coming in, won't it? So tracking from an application on her phone revealed that her walk started at 5 a.m. in the Palfrey Heights and reached the end of New Mill Lane by the river. Detectives say the walk then returned back up New Mill Lane, where the app was manually stopped at 6:03, close to the street at the top of New Mill Lane. So here it is. Here is her journey, her final journey, bless her. So at approximately 5 a.m., Anita Rose left her home and starts recording her dog walk on her app. And it's quite a long walk, or it looks it anyway from here. So off she goes with Bruce, probably a walk she does often, if not every morning. And then approximately 6:25. Oh no, that's number 4. Sorry. So number 3 here, approximately 6:03. Anita reaches the top of New Mill Lane, where the dog walk recording is stopped. Now, I don't know why she recorded her walk on the app. People do things like that. I wouldn't even think of it, but I know people like to record their walks and their steps. So if that's number 1, and that's number so that's number 3. So number 2, she comes down here. She reaches the end of New Mill Lane and doubles back, following the same path back towards the top of New Mill Lane. Right, okay, now I understand. I was thinking, God, why is that number 3? So she's come all this way around here, up there, down to here, and then gone back up. And that's where she turns off the phone app. Okay. And then, so there's no more records from the phone there, but I presume they're presuming that she walked down here. Or, maybe from the cellular data, they know that she walked down here, but it's gathered that she did, because at approximately 6:25, a member of the public found her and called an ambulance. And Anita, unfortunately, so she's a bit off the beaten track there, is she? Because you presume, unless she goes home normally this way, wouldn't she have gone down there and then back up that way? Or maybe she does. Maybe there's another way you can get to it that way. So she set off walking down there. And that was it. And Anita was very seriously injured, and she was taken to hospital, where unfortunately she could not be saved. So there you go. Her partner's lost a partner. Her children have lost a mother. And I think she had about 12 or 14 grandchildren. Lots of grandchildren have lost their nana, their Gma, whatever she was called by them. So the police force said that further analysis showed it was normal for the act to be stopped at this point in Miss Rose's walk. Anyone who saw or spoke to her, especially at 6 or 6:30 during her walk, is urged to get in touch with the police. And there she is. She died in Edinburgh's Hospital in Cambridge from her injuries, bless her. And a jacket that police think she was wearing at the time is also missing. So that's that pink jacket, that cerise jacket. And it was a cerise regatta Calderdale 2 jacket. Also missing is her black phone case, a wallet-style quilted cover. Her phone is missing, with gold crown and stud detail. That has not been found. Was it the iPhone that was the reason for her being attacked? Was it somebody trying to steal the iPhone and ended up going too far? Maybe she put up a fight, and that maybe they just sort of lost it. So an ambulance was called and police were contacted at 8 o'clock because she was discovered unconscious by a member of the public at 6:25 near the Anglian water sewage works and railway line off Rectory Lane. This is the jacket, not the actual jacket. This is to show what the jacket is like. Cerise pink. It's very distinctive, isn't it? You would think that somebody... And why would they take the jacket? Did they think it was... I suppose it's a design. I don't know anything about designer things. But is this some sort of expensive jacket? Is that a designer jacket? I have no clue. So is that why they took it? Because I don't understand really why they took the jacket, unless they thought they could sell it, obviously. So first of all, a 45-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder before he was later rearrested on suspicion of murder. A 37-year-old woman was also arrested on suspicion of handling stolen goods, and they're both released on conditional bail. And then a third person, a man in his 20s from the village, was arrested on suspicion of murder and released on bail, also with conditions to return to the police in October. No charges have been made as yet. So they haven't got all their ducks in a row, have they? They haven't got all the information. So if you, as I say every time I talk about this case, if you live anywhere near this area, don't be going out with your dog or whatever a silly hour in the morning, because it's not safe, because they're all walking free. None of them have been charged, but it could have been one of them. And these are the new people now that the police want to speak to. Again, it's got to be stressed. They're not suspects. They're just people who have been caught on the CCTV that the police haven't spoken to yet. So that's basically what it's about. They want to speak to these people. They want to eliminate them from their inquiries. This guy looks like he's going to work to me. Don't know why. You know, with his hat on, he looks a bit fed up. He's got his bag. Has he got his work clothes in there? You know, he looks to me, you know, but I'm just giving my opinion. That could be completely wrong. Maybe he's not going to work, and maybe the other one's going to work. But this guy doesn't look like he's going to work, does he? But he might be. So we don't know. So the police want to speak to these two people because they may have some evidence, or there may be witnesses, they may have seen somebody, they may have heard something. So basically, that is the update about Anita. Let's just put her picture up again. Where am I? So yeah, that is the latest on Anita. So it's an active investigation. The police are looking for the murderer. It may be one of the people that's been arrested and released, or maybe it's not. Maybe they are just, I mean, as one of them was charged with receiving stolen goods, I do feel that must be the iPhone, surely. And they've got the phone in their possession, so the police, so surely that is the iPhone that is the stolen goods, receiving stolen goods. Now, the thing is, if that person did buy the iPhone off someone, they didn't probably know that it was the iPhone of someone who'd been murdered. You know, people, if that person was looking for money, quick money, they'd just go to someone they know that perhaps they knew might be interested in an iPhone for 50 quid or whatever. I don't know how much they would have sold it to them for. What did they need the money for? Are there drugs involved in this? Well, you know, and then they would just take whatever they could get for it, wouldn't they? But I do think it's key is what were they doing? Wandering around at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, if they didn't have a dog, they weren't going to, or were they going to work? Maybe they were going to work, coming home from work, maybe just couldn't sleep. Maybe they were deliberately looking for somebody to mug and steal the phone off. Maybe they were even deliberately looking for Anita, because if Anita did that same walk up every day, you know, we've talked about that, haven't we? If she went on the same walk every day with her dog and somebody saw her one morning, could well be that somebody was lying in wait for her. You know, we just don't know, do we? But so that's the latest news on Anita. I'm going to swap over now the pictures, because now I'm going to tell you about well, I was going to say a new case. It's a new case as far as I'm concerned, but it's not a new case. This lady, Kasha, 36 years old, mother of 3 girls, went missing in Edinburgh last October. So Kasha has been missing a long time, but that's the last time that the police know for sure she was safe and well, but you'll hear them explaining in the videos that we're going to watch, etc. You'll hear the police explaining when they think she was last safe and well, etc. Was October last year. Since then, nothing. Her oldest daughter, her birthday has come and gone, and her daughter says, you know, her mother would never have missed her birthday. It seems like she was a very good mother. 3 daughters, very young herself. I mean, only 37, 36 or 37 herself. So very young, just disappeared off the face of the earth. You know, like, as we know, people don't disappear off the face of the earth, do they? But this case is in Edinburgh. And now I've never heard of it before, but it came up in the news yesterday because the police have started searching again. You know, they've probably been searching all the time, but they've, you know, every now and again when the police are investigating, sometimes it might be an anniversary, like been 6 months, or it's her birthday, or, you know, some reason that they go over the case again, and this is happening at the moment for whatever reason, and the police have started searching locally. They're not given up hope that she may still be alive, but we all know when someone's been missing for over 6 months, gosh, well, longer than that now, isn't it? Because if you went missing in October, this is 10 months now she's been missing. It never looks very promising, does it? Very sadly. How are you all doing in chat? Are you all okay? Good. Yeah, you're all fine. You're all chatting. Okay, so let's have a look at this case for the first time. This is the first time for me looking at this. You may have heard of it. Of course, it's in Scotland. Oh, that's what we're going to look at first. It's in Edinburgh. I thought I had a map prepared. I normally get a map. Right, let me put some, if I put some of the other windows down that I finished using. I did have a map up, but of course it's disappeared, but I'll get it back up. So, of course, Edinburgh is the capital of Scotland. I've got quite a few students from Edinburgh, Edinburgh, as I should say, Edinburgh. I'm pronouncing it in the Spanish way. So, yeah, I've got some students from Edinburgh that study on Zoom. So let me show you where it is. So Edinburgh, capital of Scotland. Glasgow's here. Of course, I have quite a lot of chatters from Glasgow. Edinburgh is here. I've been to Edinburgh. It's a very beautiful place. It's very expensive. Well, so as is Glasgow, to be honest, in the town centre. But it was beautiful. Edinburgh is like, it's a very old-fashioned town, isn't it, in the centre? Is it Edinburgh that they call Old Reekie because it's got all those very old buildings, and it used to smell, didn't it, years ago in with industrial things. But anyway, that's where it's happened, Edinburgh, right up in the north of the UK, in Scotland, so not in England. Where's the, don't know where the border is. Anyway, that's where Kasha lived, and whether Kasha will ever be returning home, let's hope so, but it doesn't really look very promising at the moment. So, as I say, October last year. So let's just have a look at this article first of all. So, Khasha Smith, specialist Edinburgh police search, woodland area for missing mum. Nearly 1 year on from Kasha's disappearance, police continue to explore every possibility and was spotted searching a woodland area in the west of the capital on Wednesday. Now, I don't know if they've got any suspects here. What I've noticed in all the research that I did before this video, there's no mention of a significant other in Kasha's life, which doesn't mean there wasn't a significant other, of course. But it's funny, there was no mention of like her personal life, apart from her daughters and her mum, but no mention of any sort of love interest. Whether there's any suspicions on anybody, I just don't know. So officers searched a woodland area near the Union Canal for the second time on Wednesday. Specialist Edinburgh officers have been seen searching a woodland area as their investigation into the disappearance of local mum Khasha Smith continues. Detective Chief Inspector Bob Williamson addressed the media on Wednesday afternoon to remind anyone who may have information regarding Kasha's disappearance to come forward. Officers were spotted searching an area near Pentland Gate Business Park, just off Calder Road, for a second time as their efforts to trace the 36-year-old continued 10 months after she was reported missing. Detective Williamson also confirmed the force is not ruling out the possibility Kasha may have come to harm after she was last seen to be safe and well on Tuesday, October the 10th, 2023. So it's very, very sad. Just put a couple of... So what I'm going to show you now is let me see. Go to this one now. So this is a similar article, but in the BBC, and I'm going to show you this press conference that her daughter and her mum made a couple of months ago. So Kasha's mother, Nicola Neal, 55, said the family was sick with worry and urged anyone with information to come forward. She said, "Kasha is my friend, as well as my daughter, and we are living a nightmare." It's such a shame, isn't it? It's like we all have our problems, but these are special problems, aren't they? So really are special problems, I'm afraid. When your loved one goes missing, there's not much worse than that, is there? Less. It's hard to find the words to explain the not knowing where she is and if anything has happened to her. These past few weeks have been horrendous and painful for us all. So, all possibilities considered, Detective Chief Inspector Williamson said officers were keeping an open mind about Kasha's disappearance. He confirmed that officers were investigating Kasha's banking activity as part of the probe. That's interesting. Her banking activity. So who's been in her bank? No one has been interviewed as a suspect during the investigation, and an online portal has been launched allowing the public to submit information directly to officers. Well, I think we'll have a look at that. Oh no, I thought it might go somewhere. Doesn't go anywhere. Anyway. He said, "While we're keeping an open mind and continue to hope Kasha will be found safe and well, we have to consider the possibility that she may have come to harm. Our inquiries are ongoing, and a key focus of our investigation is continuing to build up a picture of Kasha's life in the months prior to her disappearance. We're keen to speak to any of Kasha's friends who may have information about her whereabouts before the last known confirmed sighting of her on the 10th of October. Now, you'll see later the police officer, there was other talk that she may have been safe and well after this date. But the police, the detectives said that has not been proven. So it just makes you wonder, have they got a suspect in mind, but they're treading carefully? I feel, reading about this, reading between the lines, maybe they do have a feeling, they know that something's happened to Kasha and they might know who's responsible for it, but they've got no evidence. It'll be one of them, won't it? No evidence. But there'll be evidence eventually. Okay, so what we're going to look at next. So we're going to look at the press conference that her family did. Let me just share that and then I can close that down. What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? So this is this is Sky News article about the same thing. Detectives continue to delve into the life of missing Edinburgh mum who was last seen almost a year ago. I can't believe I haven't heard about this case because, you know, I do take notice of crime and especially women who go missing. If it's in the media, if it's in the news, I normally see it. So I don't remember seeing this. But that's why this is the first time that I'm even mentioning this case, because I would have definitely done a video about Kasha because of her being a mother of 3 just disappearing like that. Anyway, she was last seen to be safe and well during a FaceTime call with a friend on the 10th of October last year. And really, this is Kasha. I mean, she's 36 or 37. God, these adverts, can't see the full photo of her, but she looks very young. Does that mean she is young? I suppose so. She must have been young when she had her daughter. She was probably only 17, 18 when she had her oldest daughter. Now they are saying that there is a possibility she may have come to harm now. Oh, that's a better picture. Gosh, she looks very young, doesn't it? She just looks sort of in her 20s there. She just looks like a teenager herself. Bless her. So apparently she'd never gone missing before. So it's not as if it's something, you know, that she had a habit of going missing or, you know, that sort of lifestyle. She'd never gone missing before. So on Wednesday afternoon, members of the investigative team and the specialist search advisors were out in force within the Calder Grove area as part of a fresh appeal for information. And this Bob Williamson, the Detective Chief Inspector, said, "We continue to follow up several lines of inquiry and are working to find answers for Kasha's family. As with every missing person inquiry, all aspects of Kasha's life have been and continue to be explored." She would not miss her daughter's birthday. So when they were doing this police conference, obviously her daughter and her mum got quite upset. We're going to watch the actual conference in a moment. You can tell they're just devastated. They don't understand where she's gone, why she hasn't been in touch, and it must seem extremely likely to them that something's happened to her. So she was 35 when she went missing, but I believe she would be 36 now. A living nightmare. Her mum said this is her mum. She said the waiting was unbearable. It's hard to find the words to explain the not knowing where she is and if anything has happened to her. So Mrs. Smith's daughter, Callie Smith, marked her 18th birthday without hearing from her mum. "I'm living the worst dream I could imagine. She would never miss my birthday, my sister's birthdays, or Christmas. Is just not her." Imagine what Christmas must have been like, because she disappeared in October and then they had to get through Christmas not long after. Anyway, let's actually watch the press conference now.
Kasha, we love you, we miss you, and we just need you back home with us. If anybody knows anything, please get in touch. Please don't leave us to go on like this. Kasha's a brilliant mum to our 3 beautiful children, and we're all sick with worry. Kasha's my friend as well as my daughter, and it's hard to find the words in not knowing where she is or what has happened to her. These past weeks have been horrendous. If anyone out there knows anything, please, I'm begging you, please come forward. We need to know where Kasha is. I've never stopped looking for her. I love her. I miss her. Please help bring Kasha home.
I recently had my 18th birthday and didn't hear anything from my mum. She would never miss mine or my sister's birthdays or Christmas, and we just miss her so much. I would do anything for her to walk through the door and just to give her a big hug. It feels like I'm living the worst dream that we could ever possibly imagine, and I can't express how much we want my mum to just come home. Even the smallest bit of information that could help us find her. I'm asking anyone that could please come forward to help the police bring my mum home for me, my sisters and the rest of the family.
Oh.
We're continuing inquiries to locate Khasha Smith, who is missing from the Calder area in Edinburgh. So far, we've established that the last known sighting of Kasha was on Tuesday, the 10th of October, 2023. Her family are obviously extremely upset and worried about her, and that is why they're here today to make this appeal. We have a dedicated team of officers who have been working night and day to get Kasha answers for Kasha's family. A number of national resources have been used in the search for Kasha, including the dog branch, underwater searches, and specialist trained officers. While we are keeping an open mind and continue to hope Kasha will be found safe and well, we have to consider the possibility that she may have come to harm. We must consider all possibilities. A key focus of our investigation is continuing to build up a picture of Kasha's movements over the months prior to her disappearance. We're keen to speak to any of our friends who may have information about her whereabouts before the last known confirmed sighting in October. We've also set up an online portal to encourage members of the public to submit information, including any recorded footage. The Major Incident Public Portal is a website that gives the public access to a form so they can send information directly to the Major Investigation Team. It is absolutely vital that we find Kasha, and I would again ask anyone with information, no matter how small or how insignificant it may seem to them, to contact Police Scotland on 101, quoting incident number 3915 of the 5th of January 2024. Thank you. So we have to be open to all possibilities. We have a number of hypotheses that could be the case in this investigation, and we have to investigate all of them equally. And obviously the possibility of her having come to harm is one possibility, yet we still maintain hope that she may be alive and that we can still find her.
5 months next week, I think, since she was last seen. I think there was quite a while, though, before she was reported missing to the police. Is that right?
Now, this is, again, now, the notice, the reporter then, when he was asking that question, he was quite careful about it. And the detective is careful in the answer. This is what makes me think this might be some sort of domestic incident. Where is her other half? Why are they not mentioning him at all? Where is her daughter's father? The father of her daughters? You know, why is he not making an appeal? So, but this reporter very gingerly sort of tried to say to him, is it right that it was quite a while before she was even reported missing? That's what he said. I'm going to just go back a little bit so we can listen to that again, because I think that's key. Yeah, where is her other half?
She was reported missing to the police, is that right?
So the investigation has moved through a series of dates. 10th of October is obviously a significant one now. Initially, there was a date in November. We believed that Kasha had last been known to be safe and well. However, we've carried out large-scale investigation up to this point, taken numerous statements, all of which looking to gain as much information as we can about Kasha and her lifestyle, and that has led us to the date of 10th of October, which is the one that we are now convinced is the last date she was safe and well.
At this stage, you say you're keeping an open mind. Presumably, the longer things go on, the kind of the less likely it becomes that she is going to turn up.
The passage of time in any missing person investigation is significant, it's important. However, it's not something that we judge on the likeliness of someone to turn up or not. The passage of time in that case.
Sorry, I just had to delete those comments, Chumber. I'm sorry, because I don't even know that channel, so I don't know if it's a good channel, a bad channel. I don't know anything about it, so I haven't got time now to investigate it. So I've just deleted it. Sorry, you know that I don't like that, and especially when I don't even know who it is.
Is almost irrelevant. We'll keep working to any possibility in the investigation, and hope for the best possible outcome.
Okay, let's just go back there because you may have missed what was going on there because it's very important.
We've also set up an online portal to encourage members of the public to submit information, including any recorded footage. The Major Incident Public Portal is a website that gives the public access to a form so they can send information directly to the Major Investigation Team. It is absolutely vital that we find Kasha, and I would again ask anyone with information, no matter how small or how insignificant it may seem to them, to contact Police Scotland on 101, quoting incident number 3915 of the 5th of January 2024. Thank you. So we have to be open to all possibilities. We have a number of hypotheses that could be the case in this investigation, and we have to investigate all of them equally. And obviously the possibility of her having come to harm is one possibility, yet we still maintain hope that she may be alive and that we can still find her.
5 months next week, I think, since she was last seen. I think there was quite a while, though, before she was reported missing to the police. Is that right?
So the investigation has moved through a series of dates. 10th of October is obviously a significant one now. Initially, there was a date in November. We believed that Kasha had last been known to be safe and well. However, we've carried out a large-scale investigation up to this point, taken numerous statements, all of which looking to gain as much information as we can about Kasha and her lifestyle. And that has led us to the date of 10th of October, which is the one that we are now convinced is the last date she was safe and well.
At this stage, you say you're keeping an open mind. Presumably, the longer things go on, the kind of the less likely it becomes that she is going to turn up.
The passage of time in any missing person investigation is significant, it's important. However, it's not something that we judge on the likeliness of someone to turn up or not. The passage of time in that case is almost irrelevant. We'll keep working to any possibility in the investigation, and hope for the best possible outcome.
Okay, so that was in March. That was quite a while ago now, to be honest. Now I'm not sure. So the police have started searching again. There must be a reason for that, I think. Let's have a look at this video.
Max acaba de descubrir los preservativos Durex sensitivos que llevan sus sensaciones a otro nivel. Y lo que siente Max lo puede sentir todo el mundo. Durex sensitivos, más finos para mayor sensibilidad. Libera tus sensaciones con Durex. Y para sentirlo todo, Durex Invisible.
There you go.
Good afternoon and thanks for coming here today. We've deployed specially trained search officers here today to carry out further work in relation to the ongoing investigation to try and find Khasha Smith and answers for her family. As with every missing person inquiry, all aspects of Kasha's life have and continue to be explored. We know she would never miss events such as her daughter's birthdays and Christmas.
Oh my God.
Her daughter's birthdays and we know she would never miss events such as her daughter's birthdays and Christmas events such as her.
Do you see it? There was water there again. There's always water, isn't there? Oh my God. I never noticed so much, but I suppose Britain has got a lot of water, rivers, etc. But, you know, since Nicola Bulley and everything about all the cases where the person's ended up in water, I'm paranoid about water now. Good God. So I wonder if they've searched the water. I presume they have. Again, Kasha, just like everybody else, she is somewhere. Somebody knows what happened to her. She is somewhere. I hope they find her. I know it's awful, you know, for them. If they find her deceased, it's awful. But, you know, her family are going through hell not knowing. And those girls, they're always going to think, why is she not contacting us? Doesn't she love us? Why did she leave us? You know, those are the kind of things that will go through their minds. And, you know, that's not fair, because she, to me, obviously, she has not left voluntarily. It would seem obvious she hasn't left voluntarily. So somebody knows what happened to her. Somebody's taken her away from her daughters.
Her daughters' birthdays and Christmas. We continue to consider the possibility that she may have come to harm. We are constantly evaluating and exploring all the information we have and are doing everything we can to find her. The work here today is part of that ongoing investigation. I would again ask anyone who thinks they may have information in regard to the disappearance of Khasha Smith to please contact Police Scotland on 101 and quote incident reference number 3915 of 5th of January 2024. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is just suddenly a research, if you like. Oops, no, we don't want to watch
Max
that,
acaba de
no.
descubrir los preservativos Durex sensitivos que llevan sus sensaciones.
Why it's sort of, whether they've got an idea of something, because this is like, you know, nothing had been in the news for ages. I don't remember seeing anything about Kasha. And now suddenly it's like having a bit of a research. So I wonder if it's because they do know something, or maybe they're trying to lure somebody out. Sorry, you got to sit through the Durex advert again now.
¡Wow! ¿Puedes hablar?
Sí, tú me has dibujado.
Oh, no,
¿Y sabes
it's a
lo que
bit-
sería un más guau? Una gorra y una capa. Ahora sí que es guau.
Yeah, all the adverts.
Elige tu
Kids
Big
going back to
Kids
school now.
ahora.
Mum of three, Khasha Smith, was reported missing on January the 5th from the Calder area of the...
Now, I find this little video really interesting. So this is a reporter for one of the Scottish newspapers. And, you know, I noticed a lot of newspapers nowadays, they're doing these kind of YouTube style articles, aren't they, rather than the newspaper articles. Or they're doing the newspaper articles and backing them up with little videos, you know, trying to keep up with social media, I suppose. But this one is really odd because, well, first of all, you know, his background. So he's got a washing basket here, a green washing basket here. He's got a white washing basket. He must have a lot of washing. I don't know, you know, why has he got so much washing? But anyway, it doesn't look very comfortable to me doing this, but maybe it's just the way they've got to do it nowadays, but they don't really like it.
City. After concerns were raised by her family, we have not heard from her since Saturday, November the 4th, 2023. On January the 7th, police officers in Edinburgh appealed for help from the public to trace the 35-year-old woman, adding that she was known to frequent the Gorgie area of the city. The police search ramped up over the weekend of January the 21st and 22nd, with officers carrying out searches near the Calder Grove and neighbouring wooded areas. Specialist officers were seen searching a car park in the Calder area where the...
Yeah, maybe he's on location. Maybe he's in the laundrette in the, you know, in Albert Square in EastEnders. Oh dear, I just thought it was funny having the two. First of all, I noticed this washing basket, and then I noticed the other washing basket. The other thing is, it looks really uncomfortable. It looks pained. I don't feel like he's enjoying making this video, and he speaks very quietly. In fact, I'll see if I can. Oh, it's not a YouTube video, so I don't think I can get sub. Oh, hang on, I might be able to get. Oh, I might be able to get the subtitles on because it's very difficult to make out. I don't know if you can hear him all right, but on my computer, I can't hear him very well. Oh, there you go. We've got some subtitles. That's better. Because I couldn't hear him very well.
35-year-old mother lived. On January 24th, we reported that officers donned wetsuits and life jackets before carrying out a search operation at the Union Canal close to Kasha's home.
Also, they've been in the Union Canal close to her home. So they have searched the water, but we know with water, one search is never enough, is it? You have to go search it over and over again.
The flat was boarded up and police were no longer guarding the door. It was also revealed that Kasha had not been seen in person by anyone since October the 10th, 2023. On March the 4th, her distraught family spoke in front of the cameras at a police.
So the home is empty. He said it was boarded up and the police were no longer guarding the door. So I expect they've been in there, done all their forensic bits. They must have gone through it forensically. I don't know if she was living there on her own or maybe she lived there with a partner. I don't know about her private life. They've not released any of that information, which is suspicious, I suppose, in itself, in a way. But just makes you wonder, doesn't it, if she hadn't been reported missing for so long, well, those kids mustn't have lived with her, surely, because the kids would have reported her missing. So there's a lot we don't know about this case. Yeah.
Police conference revealing how desperate they are for information. Kasha's 18-year-old daughter, Khasha Smith, and her mum, Nicola Neal, made emotional pleas for help to find her. Kasha is around 5 foot tall with a slim build. She has blue eyes and long blonde hair. She also has tattoos, one of which is visible on her right wrist and says, "Forever." It is understood that...
Yeah, so she's got a tattoo on her right wrist that says "Forever." Now, I think what this guy is trying to do, and I do it sometimes, when I've got a script, sometimes when I do a video and I've got a script for it, you're trying to look as if you're not reading the script, but really you are. Because I haven't got I need a teleprompter. I should do an appeal for like a teleprompter, because that's what I need. Because sometimes when I like to prepare videos and actually make a script, most of the time I just babble on, don't I? And I don't have a script when I'm doing lives and things. But when I do other videos, I do like to have a script. And I'm getting a little bit better at that, I think, in putting videos together. I've got a long way to go, but I wish I could do, more professional videos. But I'm learning every day. But as far as reading from a script, it's very difficult, to read out and look at the camera, put pictures up, do all those things all at the same time. So, he's doing well. He's doing well, bless him. But yeah, Peter Folding, now he always gets brought into everything now, doesn't he? Whenever there's water. And it's funny, I was thinking the other day, I thought, oh gosh, why is he not helping with the Jack O'Sullivan case or not trying to help? Or maybe he has tried to, I don't know. Because, as much as I don't believe, I still don't believe Peter Folding with all that came out about Nicola Bulley. I do believe that was all to do with trying to save his professional career. But I don't believe that he wouldn't be useful in any other case. And I know that he's helped families, etc. So, make yourself useful. But because, of course, he would get the publicity, wouldn't he? I mean, these families probably couldn't afford to pay him. I don't know what he charges. Quite often when it comes to crimes, he does it voluntarily, I suppose, in sort of exchange for the publicity. At the end of the day, there's a price for everything, isn't there? He's got to make a living just like everybody else. So, I'm not against that. The only thing I was against with Peter was the way he used Nicola to try and re-establish his reputation with the police. I thought that's pretty unforgivable, to be honest. But if you're a member and you join in the members live tonight, it'd be very interesting listening to Mark Williams Thomas and what he says about cases, because they've worked together on lots of cases, aren't they? They're best buds. So, and it gives you a really good insight into why they do it, or what they do it for, and what's the, what's in it for them. Because there's always, everybody, even if it's just, if all that's in it for you is the fact that you find it intriguing, there's always got to be some reason you do things. Nobody does things that they don't have to, just because, even though, they don't want to. They want to do it for whatever the reason is. Could be financial, it could be publicity, could be just plain interest or wanting to help. There's all those things.
Kasha often visits Gorgie Broomhouse in the Wester Hales areas. When asked to comment on the ongoing investigation, Police Scotland told the Evening News on Monday, July the 8th, just over 6 months since Khasha Smith was reported missing, that Khasha Smith is still a missing person. Inquiries are ongoing. Anyone with information about Kasha is asked to call Police Scotland on 101, quoting incident number 3915 of January the 5th.
So, there you go. Oh, he's got another into. Let's see. Oh, it's gone. Disappeared. There was another one there. Let's have a look at this one. No, he's outside on this one. Oh, God, have we got to go through the Durex again? What's
Con
that?
Endesa, el final del verano también va a ser formidable, porque bajamos el precio de la luz y te lo mantenemos durante 3 años. Además, el primer año tienes un 10% de descuento adicional en tu consumo de luz. Entra en endesa.com y empieza a ahorrar.
Edinburgh mum Khasha Smith, who lived here at Calder Grove, was reported missing in January and was last seen on October the 10th. Specialist police officers were spotted at these premises searching car parks and surrounding buckets in the end of January, and also at the nearby Union Canal. Kasha's flat is currently boarded up, as you can see, and her friends and family have urged anyone with information to contact police immediately.
So that, he said Kasha's flat is currently boarded up, as you can see, so I can't really see it, but I don't know if it's here or... Poor Kasha.
He said, "We are in physical pain as our hearts are broken because we don't know where you are, Kasha." Anyone with information about Kasha's disappearance is asked to call Police Scotland on 101, quoting reference number 3915 of January the 5th.
Well, so there you go. That's all I think we know so far. As I say, it's not a case that I knew anything about until, for some reason, it seems to have had a resurgence in the news. I noticed it on the news yesterday and I thought, oh, why have I never heard of that case? Very sad. I hope this renewed police interest, if you like, and renewed media interest leads to some sort of break in this case, and that one way or another Kasha is found. I hope so. And of course, the other person we've been talking about is Anita Rose. So those two women that we've been talking about in this video, got Anita Rose. So the police have issued photos of two men that they want to talk to, who were seen on CCTV around the time that Anita was attacked, not because they're suspects, but because they just want to talk to them because they might have some information. And then the other case, of course, Khasha Smith. That's what we've been talking about today. And prayers and, for their families, for their strength. And let's just hope that one way or another, justice is achieved for these women. That Kasha is found and that whoever did what they did to Anita is found, charged, and put away for a long time. So Right, we're moving onwards and upwards. I'm going to tell you again about tonight. So tonight in the members' lives. So please think about becoming a member, because in tonight's members' live, we'll be discussing a Mark William Thomas interview where he tells of his unorthodox methods. Oh my God, my jaw dropped open. Is this how he found out things about Nicola? If it's true that he found out about Nicola's vulnerabilities, believe me, when you watch this and he talks about some of the methods he uses to find out information, it'll make you even more think twice about him. Just seems to me not only he shouldn't be doing it, but also I don't know that it's legal. And I was surprised he went on a bloody podcast to openly say that he does these things. He also talks a lot about Jimmy Savile, of course, this case that he uncovered after he was dead, of course, waited till he was dead, as everybody did. Waited till Jimmy Savile was dead, and then everyone was coming out the woodwork saying, oh, Jimmy Savile did this and Jimmy Savile did that, but nobody tried to save anyone when he was actually alive. So Jimmy Savile lived his life, did whatever he wanted, earned lots of money, abused lots of people, had a great life, died, had a state funeral in a golden coffin, and then suddenly people started talking about what he'd been doing all that time. People knew. It's like Hugh Edwards. He's another one. The BBC's got some massive problems with recruitment of presenters. I mean, for God's sake, now they've just got rid of another one. That probably, what's his name? The guy, the young guy who I've got to say I didn't like him. He was on the One Show. I mean, I've stopped watching BBC ages ago, except maybe the news. What's his name? Yeah, Jermaine Jenas. Now, I've never liked Jermaine Jenas since I must have been watching the One Show one time, and one of the Dimblebys was talking on there, and he was so rude to him. He just cut him dead, so rude. I mean, and at the end of the day, the Dimblebys, they've been sort of doing a job like his for years. You have some respect for people. He had no respect. So since then, I never watched the One Show again. I didn't like him. He's just been sacked. So let's show a picture of him, actually, because you may not know who he is. You may not know who he is. He's just been sacked for inappropriate text. Have a look at images. So he used to be a footballer. Here he is. So he's just been sacked for inappropriate text, even though he's married. I don't know what he was saying and stuff. I don't think, at least they weren't to children this time. I think it was to, a fully grown woman for once, as far as the BBC's concerned. But yeah, he was sacked, bump, like that, gone, bump. And I expect the BBC are very, sensitive now about these things. They're just like, oh, get rid, we don't want another Hugh Edwards. So what they're going to do, wait till he's in his 50s and he's like a kingpin of the BBC. And then suddenly all this comes out. So yeah, he was sacked, wasn't he? So, the BBC, they've got this legacy. They've got this tradition, haven't they? Well, even that horrible statue that's outside the BBC that they should take down, that is a statue done by a paedophile that represents a paedophile. They won't take it down. It's just, what is it with the BBC? Just ridiculous. Anyway, let's go back to Mr. So, yeah, that's what we'll be talking about tonight. This interview that Mark did. And I think you'll find it interesting, some of the things he says. So hope to see you there. Yes, when I lived in Reading, I didn't have a TV license. I didn't have a TV. I just, that's when I first stopped watching the TV for a good while. I mean, I do watch it occasionally now, but thing is, my parents, BBC, sorry, not BBC, the TV in general, it was like a god, you know, it was like the TV in the corner of the room. And, you know, they loved their telly because they were that generation where the TV was a new thing, wasn't it? And it was, I felt they were addicted to it because that TV was on, you know, from sort of like they'd put it on at 6 o'clock and that was it, was on. They watch all the soaps, watch the news, watch this, watch that. And you couldn't talk to them unless it was the adverts, you know. And if anybody phoned while they were watching Coronation Street or anything like that, it'd be, oh my God, who's ringing while Coronation Street's on? And, you know, that's just how they were. So when I moved away to Reading, I just was like up to it with the TV. So I felt like, you know, I wasn't even allowed to like tell them my problems unless it was the adverts. I mean, I'm exaggerating a bit, but it was how I felt. So when I moved to Reading, I didn't get TV, and I used to have the radio on all the time, and you get so much more done. It's like with YouTube podcasts, just listening to people talking, you know, you don't always have to watch, do you? You just put it on in the background and you're getting on with stuff. Trouble with the TV is it makes you sit down and watch, you know, you have to sit down and watch. You can't, you know, because if you go away, if it's, well, it depends where it is. I mean, I only watch good things now, so I do have to sit and watch. But, you know, and then the adverts come on and then you just go and make a cup of tea or do whatever. So I love that, listening to the radio. I got so much more done that way. Oh, thank you, Sephi. Thank you so much. That's very kind. Sephi's gifted a membership. Somebody will let me know. Somebody will let me know who's won it. Can I see on here? Anyway, but like you're saying, Sephi, so, oh my God, they were round at my door every 5 minutes. The bloody police, not the police, the TV detector van, knocking on my door every 5 minutes. So you've got no record of a TV license at this address. And I say, no, I haven't got TV. They just don't believe you. They don't believe that you haven't got dual cats. So congratulations, dual cats. They don't believe you, do they? Because they can't believe that people don't have a TV. It must be different now, because probably a lot more people don't have TVs now because TV license is so expensive. How much is a TV license? Do you know? Then eventually, when I started, my boyfriend moved in and he liked sport and he moaned because we didn't have a telly. Or was it yeah, so we got a black and white telly and I had a black and white TV license. And then he complained because he said when he was watching the snooker, he couldn't tell which ball was going in, which colour ball was going in. So anyway, in the end, we relented and I got a TV. Yeah, £160 a year. I think at that time when I was living in Reading, I mean, that wasn't the reason that I didn't have a TV. It wasn't because of the TV license. I just didn't want a TV. You know, I enjoyed listening to the radio more. I think it was about £70 then. But for a black and white license, it was only about 12 quid or something. I don't know if they even make black and white tellies now. You probably can't even get a black and white TV license now, even if you wanted one. Oh, it's Tia. Hello, darling. Hello. Are you coming on camera? Are you coming on camera? Let's show you. Oh, there she is. Yeah, it's a little bit cooler. You may have noticed I've actually got makeup on and done my hair a bit and that because it's not boiling hot. It's still hot, but it's not like it was, thank God. And, you know, I feel like a human being again. But, you know, it's still, my hair's going a bit strange, but anyway. Hi, Darren. Pauline, can't you put YouTube on your telly? Because I watch YouTube on the telly, so I've got, you know, most tellies these days you can watch YouTube or Netflix. I personally, I'm not paying for Netflix at the moment because I normally stop using Netflix in the summer because they don't have many new programs on. And then in September soon, I'll start Netflix again. And of course, it's the second series of Squid Game is coming out, isn't it, this autumn? So I'm looking forward to that, because I thought Squid Game was really good. So I think the BBC must be really struggling, mustn't they? They must be struggling so much because people just aren't watching TV as much. And not only the BBC, Granada, even Mark Williams-Thomas, he said, didn't he, that TV is in a bad place at the moment. So he'll be struggling to get people to make his shows and stuff like that, I'm sure he's struggling. And he made that programme about Jay Slater, didn't he? And then that got shelved because Jay Slater got found. And as far as I know, he hasn't even mentioned Jay Slater since, not even mentioned him. Now, I'm just going to look to see if he has. I'm going to just have a look on his Instagram. I'll be doing this tonight as well. What was his last post? No. No, he's not mentioned Jay at all. Not mentioned it. The last crime he mentioned was about the Labour councillor, Ricky Jones. I noticed he didn't mention about the Tory councillor whose wife has been arrested as well. So he's obviously, he's on the right of centre, but picks up on, I suppose we all do that, we pick up on the things that respond to us, if you like, or comply with what we think. What do they call it? Confirmation bias. We all do it, I've got to admit that. So his last post about Jay was about his funeral. So somebody, let's have a look at this because it's quite interesting. I should be doing this tonight. I'll read it out to you, but somebody had put on his Instagram, because he put, the funeral for Jay Slater will be Saturday the 10th of August in the chapel at Accrington Crematorium. The post-mortem ordered by the UK coroner. I thought the post-mortem, the inquest hasn't been heard yet. Concluded that Jay's death was caused by traumatic head injuries consistent with a fall from a height, and death would have been instantaneous. So this was 4 weeks ago, the last post that Mark put on about Jay. And somebody has come on and said, can I ask Mark why you said all you said about Jay being scared and having knives and stole the watch? Then you disappear and say nothing else. Why is that? Were you lied to, or did you just make it up? Just find it strange. I'm surprised he hasn't blocked her. He blocks everyone who says anything bad about him normally. He hasn't replied to her, I don't think. But he didn't block her, so I wonder why he blocked me. Because you know what? He blocked me on Twitter ages ago. I'll show you. And it wasn't even anything. I'll tell you why he blocked me on Twitter, what I said to him. Because he came out with this, thing that Oscar Pistorius was innocent. I just can't get over it. And everyone knows that Oscar Pistorius is guilty. He was found guilty. He served a sentence. He got away. But he got away with it. He's not done much of a sentence. Look. You're blocked. He blocked me last October sometime. Ages ago he blocked me. And then after he blocked me, that was followed up by Peter Folding blocking me. And I'd never even made a comment to Peter Folding. I've never commented once on any of his social media. I've commented on my social media about what I think about Peter Folding. That's not a secret, and I stand by it. I don't feel any different now. I don't believe a word of it, what he came out with on that day of the College of Policing report came out. Don't believe one word of it. But I've never gone on his social media and said anything. And he blocked me as well, but because they're mates, they've probably been talking, you know. I just think, what they're blocking me for? I mean, I'm not exactly, I've got a tiny little YouTube channel. You know, I'm not exactly making a big difference to them, am I? But yeah, just shows you defensive, very defensive. And you know what? Tells you all you need to know, really. But I can understand in a way why Mark Williams Thomas blocked me, because I did make comments and say, you know, I didn't believe about this Oscar Pistorius thing. And that's his what's the word? That's his prerogative. He can block me if he wants. I can still look at all his tweets. It makes absolutely no difference. I just look at him on a different account. But, you know, he's blocked me as if he thinks that means I can't see what he's saying. But, of course, I can. But anyway, there you go. So, maybe not as clever as he thinks. You're supposed to keep your enemies close anyway, aren't you? Yeah, but it's still only a little channel, isn't it, Chumba? But it is growing, yeah, and it's growing, you know, nicely. I'm happy with how it's growing. And the thing is, you know, I'm just got to be myself. And, you know, subscribers sometimes have a little flurry and then have a little, like, you know, I've noticed that it's like, obviously people watch your videos because they like your videos. But I've noticed, you know, but we can't agree on everything, can we? There'll be things I'll say that a lot of my chatters, maybe they don't feel that way, and vice versa. And sometimes I've noticed people get really arsy about that. Like, you know, oh, you can't believe you're saying that. But I'm just saying what I think. You know, whether, you know, we can't all agree all the time, can we? But, you know, that happens on YouTube channels that I like. I watch them, and sometimes I watch them and I think, oh, I don't agree with that. But I don't go on there and say, oh, God, what are you saying that for? I just turn that video off and wait for the next one. That's right. You've just got to be yourself. You've just got to be yourself. Hide blank faces. You can't be anything but yourself, can you? And if you, you know, if you're yourself, you know, people can't pull you up on it after, can they? You know, and say, oh, and you know, I'm not a person. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Something, you know, I've always been sort of too straight talking, really. Sometimes that's not a good thing, but I just can't help it. That's the way I am. So there you go. But anyway, so members, I'll see you tonight, and we'll be talking about Mr. Mark Williams Twonk and seeing what his unorthodox methods are of finding out information about people. Oh my God, be careful. Check your cars for tracking devices. You know, if you've got, he'd probably be here putting a tracking device on my car when he gets angry with me. But yeah, a lot of, from his own mouth, a lot of things that he does. So doesn't seem legal to me, but never mind. Yeah, that's a Leo, Chumba. We are a bit like that, aren't we? But I like that about people. I do like that. But I mean, it gets on your nerves sometimes. Of course it does. Wouldn't you rather have somebody that, I remember a friend of mine once saying to me, oh, well, tell me what you think because you'll tell me the truth. You know, and it was like really stuck with me, that, because, you know, now I have irritated friends. I know that. Because I will tell them the truth. And sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. That's another thing. Sometimes, and I include myself in that, sometimes the truth is unpalatable. Sometimes if you've got to ask someone, well, what do you think? What's the truth? Like about a partner, or like, you really know the answer to that question, because if there was nothing to worry about, you wouldn't have to be asking anybody, do you think I've got anything to worry about? You know, it's just plain as the nose on your face, really, isn't it? And of course it's easier to tell for other people. There's lots of things that we can spot, you know, for other people that we wouldn't see if it was us. You know, that is, you know, people go in denial sometimes, don't they? But yeah, I'll never forget that. So she said to me, "Hi, Leanne." So she said to me, yeah, it was asking something about a son, some problems that she was having with her son, you know, which we've all had, I think. And everyone was sort of trying to prance around it, and she just turned to me and said, well, tell me what you tell me what you think, because you'll tell me the truth. It's difficult to tell somebody unpalatable truth, and it's hard to hear them, you know, for all of us, isn't it? But you have to respect someone who tells you what they think, not worrying. I mean, don't mean about being hurtful. There's a difference. Sometimes people say hurtful things deliberately. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about somebody who says something that is honest and from the heart, even though it might not really be what you want to hear. But you know, unfortunately, I'm a bit too much like that, I think. But anyway, that's the way I am. I'm not going to change now at this advanced stage. You know, it's like, if anything, I'll probably get worse. Oh, dear me. So, thank you again, Sefi, for the membership that you've gifted. I think it was Jewel or someone got it, somebody said. David, Charlie, do you remember, you know, I did the pineapple video about putting your pineapple in the trolley. And of course, you know, Charlie lives in Spain, but, you know, somewhere up in the north of Spain. And he did leave a message. He must be watching the videos. Maybe people go through phases with chat, don't he? Could be watching now, but maybe just doesn't want to chat. Sometimes people don't like the attention that they get in the chat or whatever. You know, everybody's different, and Charlie does like to chat sometimes, but maybe sometimes he doesn't. So but he did make a comment, so he's still around, he's still watching the videos. So you know, people come and go, don't they? Sometimes people have a little break from lives or from the chat anyway. So you never know who's watching home. By the way, hi to everyone watching at home. Hi to everyone watching on Replay Crew. And actually now I'm going to say goodbye to everyone at home and goodbye to everyone watching on Replay Crew, because I am going now, I promise. I'm going to go. I'm going to get ready for tonight. Have some lunch. I don't know what I'm going to do this afternoon. I might go for a swim because I don't have any classes. I might even do another video. You just never know, do you? See what comes up. But anyway, I will definitely see you members later on tonight to talk about Mark Williams Thomas. And I bet he hates me, you know. I bet he does hate me. I don't hate him. I'll tell you, this is an interesting interview, but it did stop me in my tracks a few times. A swimmy, yeah, I might go for a swimmy. I might go for a swimmy, I don't know. Okay, so I'll see you later in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. And don't forget to like. Please consider subscribing if you're not already a subscriber. And yeah, but most important of all, take care. Let's find my little video to put on to finish. Adios, amigos.